and welcome in to the Rob and Kale Show. I'm Rob Sanders. I am happy to be here with you this evening. My buddy, Carolina Jackpot, I'm not exaggerating, was right there in the little StreamYard screen just a second ago as I take my allergy medicine. Hold on, please. So, I'm Jackpot was probably going to tell you this either way. Jackpot is part of the group of folks that does not have power in the upstate, does not have internet in the upstate. One of those folks. But he was going to try to jump into the show with the use of his cellular phone. But apparently that just shit the bed. And hopefully he's going to show up. If not, look, some people will laugh at me, but I can do a show by myself, have my own radio show forever. I can do this. Love Jackpot. He is part of the, him and I together are a hell of a tandem, but I can get us through a Sunday night show. I know I can. So Jackpot just sent me a message, says, oh, well, I tried. It's not going to connect. Sorry about that, Jackpot. Tonight we're doing the show and I tell you what, it's hard for me to sit back and not mention the folks that are in the upstate that don't have power. It is a mess. I know that my wife teaches here in Richland County, which is in the middle of South Carolina, for those who are outside of the state and don't know. They have a virtual learning tomorrow, or e-learning, whatever the hell it is, the same thing we had during COVID. So they'll be home again for the second day. I've seen footage of some of the stuff in the upstate. What was the town Chimney Rock is no more. I mean, pictures of before and after that is pretty sad. Pretty sad. I'm sure Jackpot is going to try to watch the show tonight. I don't think he's going to be able to connect, but hey, you guys, have good thoughts for Jackpot because he's been without power. And here's the thing. He didn't tell me about it. Like, I didn't know about it until today, and I'm not mocking him for it, but he's up there and he's dealing with all that stuff. I told him, I was like, man, friend of the show, Dennis Wilson, would have took your happy ass a generator. You got to let us know. So there's that, but good thoughts for Jackpot tonight. He was going to come in what was called, I think it said Carolina Dork Mode, which was essentially the like a black screen. That's all I could see in Jackpot's bald head. But anyway, so we'll take comments tonight too. B-Swan88 finally got my power back on here in Malden. I'm seeing that my friends in Lexington, some of them have power. The wife has been updating me periodically. There's 20,000 people in Richland County. I think that's the number that still don't have power. I know that there's folks like what Dwayne's saying in the upstate that it is not a pleasant situation. It's really not. There's been a lot of discussion about whether Clemson should have played their game last night. I'm in the camp of they shouldn't. They shouldn't have played. Simply because it just seems off. And then today they put out, hey, we're canceling classes for Monday. It just looks shitty. Wait, the students can't come to class, but you're going to hold 75,000 people in a football stadium for a football game. It looks shitty to me. Absolutely shitty. And I'm sorry if that offends some folks. Actually, no, I'm not. Fuck yourself. That's just the way I feel. The emergency personnel and all those folks. I know that there are people, well, there weren't a lot of cops roaming around. That's not true. People are tweeting out pictures of the cops directing traffic up there. Those cops could have been doing some other things. I've got friends that are taking pictures of their driveway, of cops that are in the road, etc., and trees that are in the road, and just trying to get those trees cleared so that the power company can come in and fix their damn power. So Rob has an SEC bias, says Clemson was relatively untouched in all regards as far as flooding and stuff is concerned, but stealing all those resources is a bit shitty. Yes, I agree. Bow hunting says, Rob, what's up, Rob? Most of the surrounding counties where I live here in Tennessee are underwater, and some have lost everything. It's bad. I wish everybody the best out there. Now, I haven't heard much about stuff outside of the Carolinas, simply because, not because I don't care. It's just I've seen enough in the Carolinas, to be honest with you. But on the other hand, I don't wish this kind of doom is basically what I'm talking about today. It's just sad. I can't remember how many folks have been confirmed as have passed away due to the storm in our state, but it's just sad. So I thought about not doing a show this evening, but I got messages from folks saying that this might be an escape. So I'm going to talk college football with you. I'm going to give you guys the opportunity to jump in here. First of all, let me put the link out over here in the description, in the chat box. If you want to talk about weather and stuff, we can do the best we can with that. If you want to talk about football, we can go with that. The updated standings for the Callaway's Pick'em Challenge is in the show description. Be sure to check that out. See where you are. And I laugh. My wife got 8 out of 11 correct. Fuck, is that nonsense? She's smoking us. It's crazy. Rob has an SEC bias with a super chat. Auburn has invalidated the Vols win officially. Okay, terrific. All right, so here's what we got. I'm going to put the link over here. I think I did, but just to be sure, make sure we put that over there. If you want to join, have at it. The first to jump in here is the man with the world famous cat, Mr. Big Barney Ross. What's up, brother?
Hey, Rob, how you doing?
I'm good, man. How are you?
Splendid. Listen, I got a question for you.
Mm-hmm.
Since Jackpot's not there, you'll have to answer it for him, I guess. In your opinion, South Carolina is 11.5-point underdog. That's what the line opened up with Ole Miss coming into their place next week. Looking at the lines of scrimmage of Ole Miss, you think South Carolina got disrespected a little bit there? Because I don't think they can beat South Carolina. And I'll get off here and listen to what you got to say about that.
Well, the Lane train is coming to Columbia, South Carolina. And I tell you what, Big Barney Ross there, by the way, didn't say one word about his Wildcats, who went into Ole Miss and got a win, shocking a lot of folks, including myself. 11.5 points is the early opening line there for South Carolina and Ole Miss. I wonder a couple of things. First of all, Walker had a good game yesterday, and it seemed like he kind of lived in the backfield for Kentucky. Do the Gamecocks have that interior presence that can go in there? And obviously, that's how you beat Ole Miss. Rush them right up the damn middle and go from there. Here's the big thing, too, though. Do you think, and I'm not trying to take anything away from Kentucky because they went in there and handed them their ass, but do you think Ole Miss may have overlooked them just a little bit? This is Kentucky. We've been reading our own newspaper print. We're better than, the majority of these teams that are out there. I wonder. Now, we'll find out because they've got to come to Columbia, 3:30 kickoff on Saturday. And I'll tell you what, I have said it since the beginning of the season. I don't think that the Gamecocks win a game in October. And it's not really a sham on the Gamecocks there. It's just that their schedule is the shits. And I just don't think that they have the personnel as of now to do it. Now, could they go out and beat Ole Miss? Yeah, they could. Nobody gave Kentucky a snowball's chance in hell of doing it, but they did. So why can't South Carolina do it? I'm just saying, in my opinion, right now, if I had to pick head-to-head, I would take Ole Miss. They've got, in my opinion, better quarterbacks, better receivers. They may not match up well as far as their offensive line against the defensive line for South Carolina, but They have a better coach. That means something. Now, you're asking me to pick them straight up. I would go that way. I would not. And I have not seen the line yet. I am not going to not lay 11 and a half points with Ole Miss. That is, are you freaking crazy? that's not happening. Some other things that happened yesterday. We got to mention the Clemson Tigers. They did play last night, even though I don't think they should have, and they beat the holy hell out of Stanford. If you followed along on that game a little bit, you will know that the beforehand stuff, Stanford didn't fly into Clemson until Friday because of the storm and everything else. So it's safe to say that things were stuffy for them. And here comes the dumbass comrade. The comrade is at the Pesky Pole on YouTube. Go and follow his channel. He knows. Actually, don't follow his channel because his channel is good from February until September the 30th. Baseball season. When it comes to football, don't follow his channel. It's horse piss. He doesn't really post any football videos because he doesn't want anybody coming back and looking at his shitty picks there. But he says, I'm glad Cale is taking the night off so the state can get back on their feet. Sir, Cale tried to connect but couldn't. So that just shows how dumb you are. But anyway, carry on. Let's bring Dylan in here. Dylan, what's up, buddy?
I'm going to be playing for this upstate of South Carolina and the whole state of South Carolina. And I'm surprised Kentucky put off the upset yesterday. Yeah. That's one of the games I got wrong on the Pick'em Challenge. One of many.
I don't think that very many. I could look it up, but I don't think very many people picked Kentucky yesterday. So there's that.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Anything else, buddy?
Did you see Uncle Lou's video earlier today?
I saw Uncle Lou's video last night where he, I don't know how to put it. He basically motherfucked Alabama, motherfucked Georgia, and everybody else. He was not very happy about the performance from his Georgia Bulldogs as they went and got a pop down there at Alabama.
It was a good game, but if you look at the box score, it was close. But to tell you the truth, the game wasn't really close until the second half.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, that's true, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, a great game, so you're right about that, bud. Anything else there, man?
Nope.
All right, buddy. You have a great night. Thanks for checking out the show, all right?
Yep.
Let's see here. Dylan joining the program. It's nice to see two Kentucky fans back to back. Now, I know that Dylan and Big Barney Ross have been here regardless, but it's been kind of silent since South Carolina went up there and beat the snot out of Kentucky at Kentucky. And that was one of those games yesterday. I would have never picked Kentucky to win that game. Completely didn't see it coming. We could talk about the Alabama-Georgia game a little bit here. Here's what I noticed about that. Alabama came in very confident, and Milroe played really, really well. As far as the fan bases go, my God, there are a lot of people that are butthurt about Georgia, not the fans. I'm talking about the people that are mocking Georgia because they lost. There are a lot of people that are like, ha, Georgia this and ha, Georgia that. Holy shit, y'all. It's one game. Schultz,
hey, how's it going? I hope my internet's okay. My internet's not too stable back here, so I hope I'm coming through clearly.
What's up? Yeah, what you got, man?
So, yeah, first of all, I want to say that I was not expecting that Saturday. And I really do think...
I'm sorry, which one? The Kentucky game or the Alabama game?
The Kentucky game. Okay. I was not expecting that. Sure. And I'm happy Juice Wells, he had 0 catches and 2 drop passes. I think that's hilarious. But I do have a feeling that when we smoked Kentucky, that was just a trap game. Either that or Ole Miss is insanely overrated. But who I really think we can beat now, looking ahead in the schedule, is Oklahoma. I don't think Oklahoma is that good. They don't have a proven quarterback. They barely beat Auburn. Auburn's terrible. So I really think we can beat Oklahoma. The only thing is that it's down there it's down there at Oklahoma. But other than that, I really think that's a game we could win.
So that's your game in October that you think that you can go down and get. Of the three that you have, that's the one that you're picking. I mean, the Rob trifecta, I don't think you're winning any of them. But if you were going to pick one, that's the one you would go with is the Oklahoma game.
I think that's the most likely. I go back and forth about Ole Miss. I think Ole Miss is still a much better team than we are, but I also feel like we're coming off a bye week. We could sneak up on them, or either that, or maybe, I don't know, maybe Ole Miss, they're pissed off and they take their anger out on us. It could go either way, to be honest. I mean, it really could.
Well, maybe we'll see on that front. At least you're at home. That's
because we should have.
That's something to be thankful about.
We really should have beaten OSU if it hadn't been for Sellers getting hurt.
You gotta. That shit's over, man.
I know. What I'm saying is that like that. I'm just saying that's how good we are. That's how good we are with Sellers. I'm not still dwelling on that game. I'm tried moving on.
Well, the health of your quarterback's a big deal too, and Rocket Sanders was running around in a boot last week. We'll see how that goes.
Yeah, I pray he's healthy.
A healthy Sellers and a healthy Sanders, if you're going to pull off the upset. So,
but I really do think we have a chance. I don't know. Maybe we get smoked. Maybe we shock them and pull another upset on them. I don't know. If we pulled an upset on them though, that put Lane Kiffin in a lot of hot water. Put Ole Miss in a lot of hot water. Well, no, I mean not Lane Kiffin in a lot of hot water. Excuse me.
Yeah, Kiffin's going to be the coach there regardless, man. I mean, that's.
But I think he may leave for Florida if that happened, because I think that kind of eliminate them from talks of the national title.
Why would you leave and go to Florida where it is a complete rebuild? I mean, I don't understand that. Now he may do it, and you may be right. And you can call back if he does it, but. In my opinion, I just don't see that happening.
I would not if I was him.
Down there at Ole Miss, where he's got guys that are coming in there. He's been able to pick and pluck and get good players in the transfer portal, and it seems to be working for him.
Now I wouldn't leave if I were him. I'd stay at Ole Miss. He's got it made, but a lot of people say Florida's
one of the worst jobs in the conference, in my opinion. They're behind everybody as far as facilities go. Their fan base is short-tempered, and if you don't have a good season, they're ready to kick you out. I mean, and you're expected to live up to the reputation of the Spurriers and the Myers and everything else. I think it's a horrible job right now. Horrible.
A lot of people are saying that's somewhere where he could win a national title. Now, I don't know. It takes a lot. You're right, though. He could if he takes them to the playoffs.
Look,
he could be the first to do that. No, you're right. I'm saying you're right.
Look at his recruiting class. Yeah, you win with recruiting, and he's able to recruit down there. He's also got a brilliant offensive mind and can put things together. Now, as far as on the defensive side of the ball, he's got to make sure his defensive coordinator is right. They can't have what happened to them yesterday with Kentucky happen again, okay? But he can win a national title at Ole Miss. Those who don't think he can are
right, because Spurrier was the first to win one in Florida. So, I mean, you never know. Kiffin could be the first to win one at Ole Miss, and he's built that program up. I'm just saying if he misses the playoffs, which I don't think if they lose to us, they'd miss the playoffs. I'm just saying if they lose to us, then they're going to lose. That's not going to be their only two losses, to Kentucky and to South Carolina. I mean, they'll probably lose to Georgia or somebody else later down the road.
Yeah, well, we'll
Billy
see.
Cole's right. No. Nobody right now really wants to take the Florida job. It's gone downhill. They should have got Kiffin when they had the chance.
Yeah. All right, Schultz, I appreciate it, man. I got a ton of folks waiting, buddy. Thank you, man. Good luck to you guys. All right, so Bird to Fly says, so you can get beat by Kentucky and still win national titles. Kirby Smart's got a loss to Vanderbilt when he's at Georgia. How did he do? Just saying. A typical Gump. Welcome to the program.
Hey, you hear me good?
We hear you fine, Mr. Gump. How are you?
Okay. Yeah, I'm in Lawrenceville, Georgia. Atypical Gump here, and yeah, we beat Georgia in Tuscaloosa, and so what? That is DeBoer's first conference game, and he happened to win it. That's nothing. There's a new sheriff in town. It's the same name as the old sheriff. It's Kirby Smart. So you talk to me in 2 years or 3 years after DeBoer plays some more SEC stuff and gets a body of evidence behind him. Other than that, Kirby's still the sheriff. Good night.
Good night. Well, here's my takeaway from that. Look, we can talk about the fact that it was DeBoer's first SEC game and he needs more of a prominent record in SEC play. He went in and knocked off the top team in the conference. That's pretty fucking impressive. I even the Georgia fan, the smart Georgia fans, not the ones that are out there for the trolling and everything else, the ones that are like, okay, they ran into a damn buzzsaw last night and they had to come back to win. They really did. So, I mean, I understand why your ass hurt. I get it, but let it go. Rob has an SEC bias, joins the program. How are you?
Hey,
sir?
I'm doing well. How about yourself?
Sir, what's up, buddy?
You know, I wanted to talk a little bit about the just these past games, but first off, I'll say, thoughts and prayers out to KL. Hopefully, he'll get his power on soon. I know.
Look, Jackpot. I have 100%. Jackpot will be fine.
Oh yeah, I know that, but still,
he's a strong individual, and he'll be just fine. So don't worry about Jackpot too much.
I agree, and luckily I was. It seems in like one of the few areas of the upstate that survived the hurricane. I mean, Greenville got fucked easily. Luckily, is okay. I heard Columbia got it pretty bad. Were you affected by any flooding, Rob?
Well, we had some flooding here, but it wasn't like. I mean, to give you some perspective, the daughter and I played golf on Friday afternoon.
Oh, okay.
That tells you how I mean, and we had some water on the course, but other than that, it was fine.
That's good. I know back home, my parents just got power today, so we're good to hear that. That's over in Gilbert. But moving on from the hurricane, we'll just hop into the games. I mean, Ole Miss, what an absolute dumpster fire. I mean, anybody can go out and drop 50 points on fucking nobody. The second they play an ounce of competition, they just fold. It was shameful. It's a classic Lane Kiffin team. They fold on the sign of any competition. They do it every year. So I don't know why anybody expected any different.
Well, make sure that you come back with that same energy if they beat you senseless on Saturday.
Listen, it's time to start respecting the Gamecocks, Rob.
Why?
I mean, all we got to use is the commutative property. Am I getting that right? Commutative? We beat the fuck out of Kentucky.
Don't call me with that bullshit. That's just ignorant as hell. Since we beat Kentucky, that makes us, then technically we're better than Ole Miss. Hell out of here, that nonsense.
I think the problems that Kentucky caused Ole Miss, we're better in every aspect.
Let me help you a little bit because you seem to have a hard time making a case for your team. Okay. So let me do this for you. If I were a South Carolina fan, here's what I would do. I would say, look, this idiot that's running our program, Shane Beamer, yes, he's technically the head of the program, but we've got smart assistant coaches that are working up underneath him, like our defensive coordinator, Clayton White, who has this idea that we're going to take our defensive linemen or we're going to have an identity of we're going to kill your quarterback and hope that you can recover from it. That's what we have. We're going to use that. And by the way, this Sellers kid is going to try to run around and make plays. He's not going to be talked to by Shane Beamer because Beamer likes to kick coolers and run his mouth. And
Hey, how
cry.
did old Skeletor do against Auburn, by the way?
Let me finish, sir. Let me finish.
Okay, go ahead.
And our offensive coordinator is going to take care of that for you. He's going to have him running around and making plays. And Rocket Sanders is trying to get an NFL contract, so he's going to do really, really well. Even if his foot is shaped like a question mark, he's still going to get out there and try to run. That's the argument that you should be bringing, not, well, we
I don't
beat
need
Kentucky, so
the real argument is, Rob, the problems Kentucky caused Ole Miss, we're better in every aspect of the roster. The pass rush we're better at. Secondary we're better at. I think honestly we got a better rush game.
Do you have Walker on your team?
We got Kennard. Kennard's better than Walker.
You think? Whoa, slow down. They play two different positions, sir.
That's what I'm saying. For what we need, Kennard's better.
Walker's a defensive tackle that lived in the backfield. Do you have that?
Yeah, we got Tonka Hemingway.
Fuck out of here.
What are you talking about? Tonka Hemingway was an all-SEC pick.
Walker's going to be a top 5 pick in the draft.
Bullshit. He's going to be a top... No way he's going to be a top 5 pick. You think he's Quinnen fucking Williams?
He's going to be a top 5 pick in the draft.
No way.
Player.
And another thing I was going to talk about is, have you looked at this slate of games next week? Because, man, is it shitty. I mean, there's really no marquee game next week. I don't know if you've had a chance to check the slate yet, but
yeah, I've got to put together the games for the Pick'em Challenge.
They all look like shit. I mean,
so top 25 matchups. I guess we'll have Missouri and Texas A&M.
Yeah, that's your marquee matchup right there. I know you got Ole Miss.
I'm going through the rest here. I've got SMU and Louisville. That'll be an interesting matchup in ACC play. We'll put Auburn and Georgia in the mix because I like car crashes.
That's gonna be a blowout. Where's that at?
Yep, that is it's in Sanford at Sanford Stadium.
Oh God! Listen, the Kirby revenge games are nothing to play with.
Georgia's a 23.5-point favorite.
Holy shit! Hey, and I was going to talk about this earlier. Honestly, and I was down on Oklahoma after that Tennessee loss. I didn't think they were going to come out and look that shitty versus Auburn. I mean, Auburn gave them the fucking game at the end. I don't know if you had a chance to watch that, but they threw a pick six in like the last couple minutes when they were down 2 possessions.
Auburn's a shithole.
Yeah, they're terrible, and I think that reflects on Oklahoma too. The fact that they didn't go out. Granted, I know you're starting a new quarterback, but I mean that's a game you got to go out and drag your nuts if you're going to be a contender in the SEC. I mean, they're probably one of the 4 worst teams in the SEC this year. I think that's more than fair to say.
Other games that I'm looking at, we'll have the Clemson-Florida State game. Apparently, DJ Uiagalelei has an injured pinky finger, and he got benched. That's why they say they benched him.
Oh, he got benched last week?
Yeah, we'll see if he's ready to go for that matchup with Clemson this weekend. We'll see.
I thought that was going to be the week Florida State got the monkey off their back. I actually threw a little money down on them, and man, I don't know where
I think they're officially eliminated from the ACC championship.
Yeah, they're terrible.
They can't,
has there?
It's not even October yet, and they're eliminated.
There been
hoping to go to the Pop-Tart Bowl?
Yeah, has there been? Well, they're hoping to go to the Birmingham Bowl at this point. The Duke's man.
I'm just saying.
But has there been a team that's fallen off that hard, that quick? I really can't think of one.
From going from that to
from undefeated to fucking defeated. Like, I mean, they're terrible, and I don't know what it's going to take. I'm assuming Mike Norvell will keep his job regardless of the record this year. Right. I don't think they'll fire him this year. But, I mean, what the hell? How do you even build onto a roster like this? You know what I mean?
The transfer portal, having a completely different team next year.
That's a fair point, too. He does like his mercenaries. But I saw Clemson. DJ, I don't think he's going to play. That game's at Clemson, too, right? Or is that at Florida State?
Yeah, it's at Florida State.
I mean, y'all got to blow them out. I think you run the ball pretty much every fucking possession.
According to ESPN, Clemson's a 15-point favorite on the road.
That's low to me. That's low.
We'll see.
I think this team's worse than NC State. They might have a argument to be one of the worst teams in the ACC.
They're terrible.
Yeah, they're awful.
I don't know what else you want me to say. They're just bad.
Well, and
other matchups that we're looking at, we have Tennessee and Arkansas. Tennessee's a 14-point favorite there.
Yeah. How did Arkansas play last week? They played who'd they play? I'll look it up real quick.
A&M. They played A&M. They beat them.
Oh yeah, they lost. They beat them? I thought they lost that game.
They lost, yeah. Arkansas has been in both of the games that they've lost, though.
Arkansas is decent. I agree with you. They got a real good run game too. And I think Sam Pittman might have saved his job this year. What do you think about that? He was candidate number 1 to get fired, wasn't he, preseason?
I think it was between him and Napier. They're both shitholes. So
yeah, terrible. Now I do want to preview this South Carolina game a little bit. First off, Snake Wells with an absolute goose egg last week. I mean, as to be expected. You leave one program to get your bag and you get lost in the rotation. We see it every year. But outside of that, I don't see Ole Miss coming out and starting fast like they're used to. Ole Miss has to be in front to run the offense that they run. You saw it in Kentucky that the second they don't start fast, they struggle. And I don't think South Carolina's defense is going to let any team just hop out in front of them crazy, like 14, 21 points. I mean, regardless of how the offense plays, the defense is going to keep them in it. And I'm not sure Ole Miss is set up at all to win a shootout. I think they have to be up by 14, 21 to even consider winning the ball game. I mean, they folded, man. It was terrible. Jackson Dart looked like shit. They couldn't move the ball at all. And I don't know if it's just
I'm not taking anything away from what Kentucky did.
That's what I was just about to say, yeah.
But it's almost like they didn't game plan for Walker at all. It just seemed like Walker was just moving their guys wherever they wanted them to. So there's that.
Well, that's the thing. Like, I mean, granted, I get Deion Walker's good, but South Carolina has multiple people who can get to the quarterback. It's not just one. You know what I mean? If you can't control Deion Walker,
you're not listening to me. That's the problem. Okay. Deion Walker is a defensive tackle. He's it's a different position than defensive line.
No, I understand.
Okay, so the idea is that can the South Carolina defensive tackles try to do what Walker did? If they can do that, then South Carolina's got a very, very good shot of beating Ole Miss. But if they don't, it's going to be interesting. Because a lot of the stuff that Ole Miss runs, the stuff where your defensive linemen blitz from the edge, where they speed rush, they're going to run draw plays and flips and completely get rid of that. The way to beat Ole Miss is up the middle. You have to contain the run up the middle to beat Ole Miss. Can South Carolina do that? If they can, then they're going to be all right.
I agree. And Ole Miss, I mean, let's just be honest. They're not the most prolific running team. I know Parrish is good. And, in all honesty, South Carolina has looked a bit susceptible to the, delayed handoff, delayed pass, stuff like that.
What is it? The kid Lacey from LSU? He tuned you guys up with that.
Mm-hmm.
When
that
they
second
started
half.
giving him the delayed handoff, he finished with 100 yards in the second half. So your defensive tackles, if you want to beat Ole Miss, the book on them this year is to get into the backfield with your defensive tackles. If you can do that, great. If not, it's going to be a tough out.
Well, you know what I hope is just out of sheer pride, Kiffin decides the game plan is going to run through Juice Wells, because I don't think Juice Wells is good enough to beat our defense. To be honest with you, I don't think he is.
He's part of a program.
Oh, I know that.
It's not like he's doing his thing. All right, I've got to bring Uncle Lou in here because I don't know how much power Uncle Lou's got. So I'll talk to you later on. All right.
All right. Take care.
It. All right. Let's see here.
I can do this.
Uncle Lou, what's up, buddy?
Hey, how you doing?
Hey, man. I hope you're okay with the storm, my friend.
Yeah, I'm good. Can I speak to Jackpot?
Jackpot can't get in because he doesn't have power or internet at his house.
You want to come stay with Pete too?
Does he want to come stay with Pete? That's where I'm at.
I will send him a text and ask him if he wants to go stay with Pigskin Pete.
How's he going to get? Wait a minute. So he can get a text message. He can get a text message on his cell phone, but he can't do StreamYard on his cell phone.
He tried to connect with his cell phone and it wouldn't let him at the start of the show.
Oh man.
So,
well, I'm gonna continue to do thoughts for Jackpot on that.
right.
But you say I can't talk to him, no?
No, I mean he's not here, man. I'm sorry.
All right. Well, I'm trying to think if there's something I can ask you then. Oh, I know. So I hated to see that Clemson's 1-game streak got snapped yesterday.
1-game streak. What are you referring to, sir?
Well, they had made it one whole game without turning the ball over.
Oh yeah.
Remember that? Remember they turned it over for 18 games in a row, and then last week they didn't turn it over, but then yesterday they did.
Yeah. Klubnik threw an ugly interception there. That did not go over well.
Well, Carson Beck threw 3 interceptions, but so once again, Carson Beck one-upped you again. So no matter how hard you try, you just can't get over the Carson Beck hurdle.
You're right about that.
And just for fun, he fumbled once too.
Mm-hmm.
So 4 turnovers and still only lost by 7 on the road.
Are you
telling like dangerous team?
I mean, is that what it is now? You beat Clemson and now it's just we have a field goal loss to Alabama? Is that? Come on, Lou, you haven't stumbled that far, have you?
No, not quite. Almost. I'm down bad. I'm down bad, man. I had to stay in Columbia yesterday. Do you have any idea how down bad you have to be for Columbia, South Carolina to be a better option? Bro, I almost went to Calloway's, man, just for you. I almost did, but it's just the Wild Wings was closer to the hotel I was staying at. But I did look up, like, see how far away to Callaway's was. So you know where I was at. I was at the Wild Wings on Harbison Boulevard.
Yeah, that's about 10, 15 minutes from Callaway's. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So I did think about it in regards to this show. So.
Well, that would have been cool. They would have welcomed you there because they love you there. They watch your stuff there.
I would have told them Rob Sanders sent me. Nah.
Well, you should have just told them that you're by God Uncle Lou and give me a damn table, and they would have set you up right.
Yeah.
Yeah, they knew you are there.
Maybe next time. But now I'm in Somerville. I'm in Monk's Corner.
At least you're not in
Somerville. Somerville is just what Pete tells people, so they think he lives in the good part of town. I'm in Monk's Corner.
Come on now, don't be. Pete welcomed you into his home, and you're gonna mock where he's living at.
Hey, the only thing good about Monk's Corner is that it's not North Charleston. It's rough out there, ain't it, Miss Pete? North Charleston is like Compton on the East Coast.
I mean, I was thinking if you wanted to draw some content, Lou, you should just take your phone and go down to North Charleston and try to walk 4 city blocks with the Georgia Highway.
Yeah, I've heard how dangerous it is there. Yeah. I know somebody from there, and they're hard as nails.
2.5 blocks is the over under there. I don't know how far you would get, but I'd set it at 2.5 blocks.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'm going to continue to do my thoughts for Jackpot.
That's a good thing, sir. We appreciate it.
All right, and you as well. Thanks for having me on, buddy.
Appreciate it, Lou. Have a good day, man. Glad you're out of the weather.
Yeah, man. You too, buddy.
All right, there you go. Lou joining the program. I felt bad for Lou last night. His video at the end of the Georgia-Alabama game, I mean, Lou looked like he'd been beat up a good bit. He looked like he'd taken the North Charleston Challenge, walking those 4 blocks. Oof. What a mess. All right. let me bring Harry on. Harry, what's up, buddy?
Not a lot. Hope you're doing
How
well.
you doing, sir?
And, we're okay. Tonight,
Good.
anyway. I wasn't last night.
Why weren't well? You were okay with the weather, but you weren't okay with the way your team played. Is where you're going, right?
No, actually, I guess some of the stress of the week caught up with me Friday, and when the hurricane went east of us, I felt like a lot of pressure had been removed, but I don't respond well to a whole lot of pressure, if you catch my drift. So I started feeling poorly Friday night, and Saturday, so I just couched it and watched football, and I anticipate anything, but I watched it all,
That's a good thing.
and Lord have mercy, that was a flashback game last night, and 2008 just flashing before my eyes.
We should look. It's easy to sit here and say, Georgia went in there and they got their doo-doo pushed in. It's easy to sit here and say that, but the fact that they came off the mat and took the lead after being down 28-0,
yeah,
that says a lot about your program. And I'll tell you what, in the grand scheme of things, follow along here, Harry. It might have been good. No, I'm just saying it might have been good for Georgia the rest of the way, because Kirby Smart's going to have their attention now because they've tasted that defeat. It wasn't an almost defeat where they went to Kentucky and played like shit. It was a look, we ran into somebody that could beat us. Yeah, we came back, but we still lost. Have that hunger there to be like, look, we got to catch those assholes in Atlanta. That's the vibe that Kirby Smart has to build now, so you get another shot. Now, I'm not sure you can beat Alabama, but I think you can, but I'm not sure either way. The point is that at a neutral site, I'd love to see Georgia and Alabama play again, just because of that game last night, just as a college football fan, to see who could win between those two at a neutral site, and it'll have to be in Atlanta.
Yeah, sadly. But we get them at home next year. I don't know that either team will be what they are now, because both will lose quarterbacks. So everybody's going to be breaking in new ones. So that will be,
brother, the season's not over for you guys.
Oh, no,
it's not over for you guys at all, man.
You mentioned meeting them again. And that was a segue to what I'm about to say. Everybody needs that proverbial 2x4 across the nostrils to wake them up sometimes. And this team didn't get the message at Kentucky, and I think and I could also detect something else that disturbs me greatly that will be addressed, but a systemic issue on the staff that we have that I wasn't aware of until last night, and I saw it. So we've got a few things we got to get straight, but still, to look as absolutely inept as we did in the first half is not excusable. And that we did make a comeback is laudable, but the fact remains.
See, the problem is what you just said makes a ton of sense. And I don't mean to interrupt you, but you are used to a standard at Georgia now, because that is what Kirby Smart has set for you. Going to somewhere and being down 28-0 is not the standard that Georgia has been for a while. So going there and having that happen is like literally like bleach getting thrown in your eyes. Like, holy shit, what just happened to us? But the 2x4 is, the same thing. I just think the fact that they came back shows that the team's got a lot of balls and they have an opportunity to still have a great season. So we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, I mean, I would have been really disheartened if we had not made, fought to come back. And I saw the adjustments as they finally started to click. And I can't explain, I can't really explain it so that we could all understand it together. But that we got back when we did, and to have that spectacular play made right afterwards, after we took the lead on that pass to Williams, got to give the kid credit. That was absolutely ridiculous. So, my hat's off to them. I mean, they won the game, and oh no, our season is far from over, and there will be some attention gained, and I think we're going to see some shuffling on that roster that's been some of us have been advocating for now, finally, and a couple of guys has gotten to play a little bit, need to play a whole lot more, is what I'm getting at. And that's to put speed on the field that we've got, and we didn't do it until the second half a little bit, but not as much as we need to. Neither there.
Well, but look, at least you're not Purdue. Purdue fired their offensive coordinator in the middle of the season today. Graham Harrell, the guy that was the record-setting Texas Tech quarterback, was their offensive coordinator. They opened up with 49 points against Indiana State, but they've only scored 38 total points in losses to Notre Dame, Oregon State, and Nebraska. The Boilermakers did not reach the end zone until 129 remained in Saturday's 28-10 home loss to the Cornhuskers. If you're firing your guy in the middle of the season, there may be stuff happening behind the scenes that we don't know about, but it means your program's the shit. That's what that basically means.
Problems there. Absolutely going to be problems there.
Yeah.
You know who the most unfortunate team in America is?
I don't know. Who do you think it is?
Oh, I can absolutely tell you it's Auburn. Their homecoming Saturday. Pray for them.
No, the game's in Sanford on. Yeah, you mean homecoming for Georgia? Yeah.
Yes.
I got you. See, and not to put you on a ledge there, Harry, but you're old enough to remember that is a bitter rivalry. And you can remember some great games in that. It hasn't been great here lately, but there have been some games in that rivalry that you could write books about.
No, during the Jordan years, him and Dooley had great duels. Auburn had some great teams, and then Pat Dye right after him. Those are some great football teams. God dang almighty. It was like playing Clemson. We play you guys, and we had to go play them. And I swear to God, you got the Red Cross out there for the injured people.
Body bag games,
right
man. That's what it was, man. Body bag physical games. I mean, remember the Danny Ford teams that were literally, we're just going to try to run you off the field. We're going to wear your ass out by just constantly pounding the football. And by the third quarter, we're going to be our offensive line is going to mow you over. Those Danny Ford teams were great to watch, but I'm sure it wasn't fun to play against them.
Oh, hell no. I went to several of those games. They're at Death Valley, and I can attest to the heat in the late August games. God almighty.
Nobody really wanted to play those Danny Ford teams. They were solid. So.
All right, man.
All right, here. What else you got, buddy? I appreciate it, man. Yeah, man. Thank you. Bye. All right, let's welcome that UGA fan to the program. What's up, buddy?
What's up? So, a little upset over the game. I'm of the opinion that we need to completely get rid of our O-line coach.
After one loss?
Looking at how bad they've played compared to what we have on paper, yeah. Because I saw the same issues in the Kentucky game. Our O-line got bullied.
Maybe, and I'm not trying to piss up a rope here, but maybe Kentucky's just pretty good. They were pushing Ole Miss around yesterday.
I mean, they knocked them off.
Maybe that defensive line is something that is just what Kentucky's good at, and they, maybe that was part of it.
They knocked them off, and again, I think the wheels on Ole Miss are kind of coming apart. I would put money right now on South Carolina possibly beating them.
The line was, someone said it was 11.5. I don't see 11.5. I'm trying to figure. I'm checking it right now. The state newspaper said it was a single digit line. I'm looking right now to see if I can find it here. Hold on, but if it's 11.5, I would jump on South Carolina and bet today. The line is actually, according to ESPN bets, Ole Miss -9.
Yeah, I like it at 10 or 11.
Yeah, I don't know if I would. I would probably bet. If I were going to bet, I'd take Ole Miss -9. I think South Carolina is going to be. They're not going to roll South Carolina, but I also think that the same thing we talked about with Georgia, Lane Kiffin will have them in practice this week. Hey, assholes, you lost last week. Don't overlook them. Don't overlook this team because they'd love to hang you with 2 straight L's. And if we lose here, we're going to have to play. Maybe we'll play Florida State in the damn Pop-Tart Bowl. We don't want that.
Florida State's not making a bowl.
They
got blown out by SMU. They're not making a bowl.
I told you at the beginning of the season that 5 games in, SMU would be 4-1, and Florida State would be 1-4. You would have laughed at me.
Yeah,
you would have laughed at me.
I mean, I thought SMU was one of the better pair going into the SEC. Honestly, I thought that Florida State game, SMU game going into the season would have been a good game. But after seeing Florida State,
I had SMU going to the championship game just because of their schedule and the way it's set up, and all of it hinged on can they beat Florida State at home. So yeah, and they sure did.
Did they play Miami or Clemson?
No. That's the thing. I'm looking at I'll look at the schedule right here. SMU schedule the rest of the way. Now they are 4-1. Let's see here. They do not have a conference loss. Bear with me a second. You'll appreciate this. So their loss was to BYU 18-15. At the time, that looked horrible. BYU's been beating the fuck out of everyone here lately.
They're undefeated.
So they have a 3-point loss to BYU. The rest of their schedule is as follows. They're at Louisville on Saturday, which is their game right now. After that, they play at Stanford, who is not very good. Stanford lost their quarterback yesterday, if I remember correctly. They play at Duke. Now, Duke is a team that they're 5-0. They play a home game with Pitt, a home game with Boston College, at Virginia, and a home game with California. I
don't see any losses. Maybe
think
Louisville.
The Louisville game might be interesting, and Pittsburgh's always solid, but we'll see. So,
I have SMU right now beating Pittsburgh. Like I said, I think that Louisville game will determine whether or not they make the title game or not. If they lose to Louisville.
By the way, not to cut you off, Pittsburgh's 4-0. They've not played in conference yet, though. But I mean, they haven't lost a game. So not many people follow Pitt, but Narduzzi puts together good teams every year. But he's got Steve Adagio syndrome. Hey, we're going to go 8-4. We're going to go 8-4 regardless. We'll have some years where we might go 10-2, but we're not. We're going to have very seldom where we're worse than 8-4. And no one ever really picks them to do that. So,
well, I mean, didn't they go like 3-9 last year?
Something like that. That was one of their off years. But Pitt Narduzzi just always seems to put together a good team that does things the correct way. It's a good coach.
He's a good coach. But I mean, I haven't really bought into Pitt just because of what happened last year. It's kind of hard for me to buy into them after seeing what happened last year. Now, different team, different schedule, different everything. But
well, they had that team with that went to the ACC championship game. Their quarterback, Kenny, God, I can't remember his name. Kenny Pickett was great. They had the wide receiver that ended up transferring, Jordan Addison. These were guys that weren't highly thought of that Narduzzi got and molded and did some stuff with. So, but they have wins over Cincinnati and West Virginia. Those are 2 quality wins when you think about it. They play at North Carolina this week. So Yeah, there's that. I don't know, man. The ACC right now is just it's a weird ass conference. The teams we thought were going to be good. I mean, NC State and North Carolina in July at kickoff, we were like, man, these teams can get there. And now, of course, Florida State, and now it's like shitholes. That's what they are.
The three teams I think will make the ACC conference game. Now, two of them are going to get in, and one of them is going to be like the odd person looking out. SMU, Clemson, and Miami. Now, I think Miami might potentially be a fraud. I mean, we'll have to wait and see later on down the line. They look good, but again, that Virginia Tech loss, or that should have been a loss, but that doesn't look good. That's I kind of feel like that's kind of Miami reverting back to the old Miami we always see. Miami 8-4,
right,
7-5.
Here's my thing with them. Miami, they are 5-0. They've got wins at Florida. They got a win over Virginia Tech. The other matchups, they just blew people out. When they stepped up last night, and that was the crazy thing. That Virginia Tech game was at home.
Yeah.
That was strange. They go on the road to Cal, and then Louisville 2 weeks after that. Then they play Florida State, Duke, at Georgia Tech, Wake, and at Syracuse. I mean, if Cristobal is going to go 12-0, this is the year he does it.
Well, and another thing I kind of take away from that too, typically like your high up teams, they always struggle on Friday night games. I think of a few years ago when Clemson was on their national championship run. I believe it's 2017 or 2018? They had like a Friday night game against Pitt or Syracuse.
Yeah, they lost to Syracuse on a Friday night and just looked like shit.
Yeah, and they go on to go into the playoffs, and it's like, the hell, like, is that what we saw out of Miami the other night, or is just the competition Miami's played just dog shit horrible?
Well, I don't think that Florida is very good. They played Florida A&M and Ball State, who are not very good. South Florida, they beat them by 35. And then there are people that are arguing still about that call with Virginia Tech. I don't know, man. I know it's 5 games in, but here's the thing. They could go 12-0 with the schedule, and I guess their best win would be at Florida, who is going to change their coach at the end of the season.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
I think everybody knew Billy Napier wasn't going to last at Florida going into this year.
Yeah, he's not very good. He's not. I love his press conferences, though. He just looks like, I am fucking defeated. I can't wait to get my buyout. I want to be like Ed Orgeron and just running around with the hose.
He's basically just taking the approach of fuck you, Florida people, fuck you, Octavian, fuck all those fans. Speaking of which, where's Octavian? He's on like a milk carton. I see.
He hasn't been over here, but bless his heart, his team's been getting their dicks kicked in. And I also told him, look, if you're going to come on the program and talk about Florida, the only thing that I will allow for an extended period of time is your softball program. The rest of your programs are shit. Everything else is horrible. You can talk softball, and I can't really say anything because your softball program's pretty good.
I mean, their baseball program's not horrible.
The softball program went to the College World Series, if I remember correctly, but
yeah.
So
speaking of which, I got another thing for you. Did you ever imagine, after watching Carson Beck last year, did you ever imagine that he would be this bad for 2 straight games?
It's hard to. I'm not going to throw Carson Beck out with a couple of bad games. He's been consistently a very good quarterback.
Yeah.
So it's kind of hard for me to. Do you think that there should be a quarterback change because of the loss? Is that where you're going? Because he let him back.
He let him back, and again, I don't know how much to discount it because I think Bama kind of changed up their schemes to that prevent defense that everybody with a pulse can score on in the second half. Um, I really feel like just the turnovers. Like he had 3 turnovers yesterday, and he should have had 4 or 5. Like,
Mhm.
I mean, I feel like we're going back to the Jake Fromm days as a
Yeah,
Georgia fan.
but to be fair, it's silly because I just maybe Alabama's good. Maybe we could just say that. Maybe you went
Oh
into
yeah,
Tuscaloosa where a lot of fucking teams don't play well, and you went in there and you got humbled, and now you got to figure out if you can come back from that. I tell you
well,
what, I would not want to be Auburn this week. Holy shit! That's
well,
all I
and
got.
the one thing, and I'll let you go after this. The one thing I noticed when I was listening to Kirby's press conference, they were asking him like, "Well, how do you feel about your record against Alabama?" And he's like, "Well, look at everybody else's record. I'd say 1-6 is pretty good." How arrogant are you for saying that? Like that is just. I
I
just
get
feel like
where
that's a
you're
stupid
coming from.
response.
It's a stupid response, but he won. He won 2 national titles. Come
I
on
don't know.
now, you can't. You can get pissed at your coach for saying stuff, but look, he is a hell of a coach. You
I'm
got to
just
give him grace on
I'm
one
just
loss.
calling it how I see it. It's like really you get blown out like that, and you have that to say?
you,
No,
you lost by 7. You didn't get blown out. It wasn't the Clemson game where you won by 30 points. You lost by
well,
7. You went there and you kicked Alabama in the face after they kicked you in the face. And a play or
we
two didn't
did,
go your way. You could have won that game. So
we
it's
did.
completely different. Completely different.
But
All right,
all
man.
right,
Well, I appreciate it, buddy. Thank you.
all right. Have a good night.
All right, man. Chris joining the program. What's up, buddy?
What's up, man? So, well, I guess my first thoughts, prayers with everybody that got hit by the hurricane. I got a question. So, Texas playing
What's this
Mississippi.
Hurricane Helene? What is this hurricane?
Um,
Hurricane, what's the name of the hurricane?
Helene, yeah,
I
something
don't know.
like
I mean, this obviously to hell with this hurricane. So,
that. I just like to, send my thoughts with everybody that's going through it. Um, so my question is, Texas playing Mississippi State. Nobody really brought that up much. Do you think Texas is getting a wake up call? Playing the SEC, or
they won by 23 points. What do you
they
want from them?
they did, but they didn't cover
Dude,
like Vegas said they would. And they lost me money, man.
well, if you're pissed off because of a bet you made, that's fine. But they won by 3 touchdowns.
They
Come
did. I'm
on.
not gonna. They did, but it's also Mississippi State.
They won by 3 touchdowns. Let
They
it
didn't
go,
win me no
man.
money though. I'm
Well,
salty.
that's fine. Great teams cover. I agree with you. But look, Texas is going to be fine.
Oh, I know. I'm not giving no shit to Texas. Texas is really good. I'm not gonna take anything away from them. They earned it. So nobody really brought up the fake injuries that are happening in the games. What do you think about that? There should be some type of penalty or something, especially if you can prove it's
But
fake.
how can you prove it's fake?
When you see
That's
Jackson
the
Dart
whole
point
game.
at a running back and tell him to
But
get down,
yeah,
come
but
on.
the point is that how can you prove it? If I'm Jackson Dart, I can be like, look, I saw his leg twist, and I was worried about my teammate.
True,
You could do that. You could do
but
that.
that changes the momentum of the game. It slows the game down. If it's real,
Sir,
it's real.
you sound like a Tennessee fan just bitching about Ole Miss
No.
faking
I
injuries.
think anybody in the chat box would agree. You shouldn't fake an injury.
I don't agree with anything that takes away from the integrity of the game, but I also
Okay.
am big on the player safety portion of it, where
I
if a
agree.
player is hurt, then stop the damn game.
I agree. No, I agree. I'm fully with you there, but don't fake it. All right, if it's real, it's real. Um, my next thought. I don't like how you doubting the Gamecocks, man. I don't like the doubt.
Okay, well, sorry. Someone has to speak reason here.
Reason says
what's doubt. What is doubt? I said if you could get your defensive tackles to play like Deion Walker, then you could beat Ole Miss.
But we have Dylan Stewart and we have Kennard. And
Dylan Stewart and Kennard are not defensive tackles, sir.
No.
I don't know why. I don't understand.
You're right.
Yes. Walker is a defensive tackle that was able to clog up the middle and live in the backfield. That's how you beat Ole Miss.
When you have two beast DNs, it should free up and tackle. Should it not?
Well, under that logic, how did Lacey, a freshman running back, get like almost 100 yards running draw plays?
We're going to see how this game plays out. We will see.
Oh, no, I mean, sir, you asked me a question. I asked you a question. You have these great defensive ends, right?
Yeah.
All right. How did a freshman running back get almost 100 yards on draw plays for LSU?
Oh, that's tough. That's tough. No, I see. No,
look, in all honesty. Let me help you. I'm here to help, okay? You have great speed rush guys, and Kennard is a great player. Same thing goes for Stewart. But when you have guys that are coming off the edge like that, the way you soften that up is very simple. You run
up the middle,
draws, you run delays, and you run away from those guys.
That's exactly right.
You're coming up the field 3-4 yards, the ball is getting snapped here, and they're not getting anywhere near it. So as a coach, I'm taking your two best players on defense and not even making them a part of the game and laughing at you as we get 7-8 yards of carry.
And no, that brings up a good point. So it's going to be the only thing, other than that, it is a home game for us. So maybe that leads in our favor. We will see.
Yep. Playing at Williams-Brice is really hard. Ask Tennessee about it.
Don't do that to them. Don't bring up old memories.
Games and ways that I hate on South Carolina every opportunity. No, man, I don't think I do. I give the Gamecocks their props when they play well. I was here laughing when they housed Tennessee, almost hung the 70 burger on them. I was here laughing my ass off, congratulating Spencer Rattler and his band of jokers as they ran up and down the field. And the fucking stadium ran out of fireworks, and I was laughing my ass off. So
they ran out of fireworks. That's pretty bad, right? When they run out of fireworks.
We don't have any more fireworks. Sorry.
Here's some firecrackers to go with it. That's all we can do now.
Stop scoring. You've exceeded our budget for fireworks.
We didn't see this happening. I'm sorry.
No. We don't have enough space in the stadium to hold the amount of fireworks that we need for this. Stop it.
It's hazardous at this point, you know what I mean? No.
Rob has an SEC bias, says Jay can't afford super chats. Why in God's name are you picking fights with Jay? Can't you guys just get along?
In all honesty,
they should have handed out sparklers. Very good, sir. Very good.
No, I loved his video where he was smoking a cigar and sipping bourbon, and it was like, "This is your sip," you know what I mean? And he took the whole glass down. That was funny as hell.
You should subscribe to the Kentucky Blue Balls channel.
Oh yeah, I did.
I kick myself in the face sometimes because I don't watch all of his videos because I'm just a busy bird. But one of the first videos he did, I sent it to a shit ton of my friends because he called it a Kentucky wake-up call, where he just went out on his porch and just took a fucking pistol and started shooting. There's your Kentucky wake-up.
There's your Kentucky. No, I give them props, man. Like I'm proud of them.
Shit made me laugh. That shit made me laugh so hard with Big Barney Ross. Kentucky wake-up call.
That's or the video he posted today was a morning after pill,
Yeah.
It's too funny.
I mean,
yeah, I give him props. Like,
pretty funny with all that. So,
well,
I wish I could I get upset because I want there are folks that I want to watch more of their content, like watch more of Pigskin Pete stuff or Lou's stuff, or Gamecock Chuck does an absolutely great fucking program where you can actually learn things from it. And it's sad because I think more people should watch some of this stuff because you might actually learn something. You really, really would. And there's some great things out there, but go and subscribe to the Kentucky Blue Balls channel simply because Big Barney Ross says some shit that just,
It's funny. It's
mean,
hilarious. Just
it's
the actions behind the words. You know what I mean?
absolutely hilarious with the shit that he posts. Pictures of his cat fighting, like not really fighting, just goofing with each other. What the hell are you doing, Big Barney Ross? So there's that.
No, I give it credit. No, I like it.
All right.
But
What else you got for the program, man?
that's about it, man.
All right. Well, as always, we appreciate you, and we look forward to seeing you guys later on. And we're gonna have yeah. I'm gonna hold on. I'm gonna play this really quick here. I'm gonna play this clip from Big Barney Ross's channel. If you don't watch Big Barney Ross, this is the shit you're missing here. Hold on, let's see if I can get it up here. Look, South Carolina fans, everybody agrees with me. Big Barney Ross is hilarious. All right, check this out. This is from Big Barney Ross. He entitled it Friday the 13th. This is one of his shorts. Bear with me here. Spotlighting the deer. God damn it. What in the fuck is he?
Friday the 13th.
God damn it.
That's wild.
He's probably gonna kill every goddamn one of those deers.
I'm not gonna lie. That's funny as hell. I did troll my last comment. I did troll Ole Miss. Well, I didn't really troll them. I just want to see what they're talking about. So Locked On Ole Miss said, if Ole Miss loses to South Carolina, they're a 6-6 team. I don't believe it. But it's what's hitting them in reality. If they were to fall to South Carolina.
Well, if I were gonna troll the Ole Miss fan, what I would say is hey, guess what? If you lose here, that merry band of transfer portal guys you've got, they're all gonna fucking quit. They've already
gonna
quit
leave.
on one program. You
They're
think they're
gonna
not
leave.
gonna quit on yours?
You're
You think they're
exactly
not
right.
gonna want to say, I could leave backwoods Mississippi and go somewhere else? Those people will make business decisions and be headed to Temple in a matter of seconds. That's the shit I would say.
And look, I give Clemson shit, but I do. If what works for Dabo works, then I give him props. No matter how much hate I give him, you know what I mean? I give him props.
He's behind. He needs to figure out a way to make the portal work for him. I'm not saying go the Lane Kiffin method or go the Norvell method, but he could really help that whole staff with some other guys.
No, I agree. I mean, I think he could be in that. If he used the transfer portal in the right way, he could be a national contender. No problem.
To fly with another one, and Kiffin will jump ship. Yeah, you could see that out too. Do you really think Lane Kiffin likes being in Mississippi? He wants to go to Florida. You could say some shit like that to them. That was like, I mean, there's a lot of things you can say that will definitely get under their skin quickly. So,
oh yeah, no doubt.
All right,
man.
All right. Whoa. There we go. I don't know why it's doing that. Oh, hold on. All right. So, oh, I know what it is. Hold on just a minute. Damn it. All right. So that should be better now. Sorry about that. All right. Anyway, look, I don't know what exactly happened with my. Did I pay my talent tax? That's funny. Yeah. How are you, Rob? I can interview myself. No. Anyway. So what happened is that I have a program called Voice Meter, and my voice meter just went to shit, and I don't know why. I don't know what happened to it. It's not like I was at the Tennessee Titans game. That's fair. I'm gonna run it back again and see if I can finish out the program here. What a shithole that turned out to be. And now it's being silly. Yes, I know there's an echo. Hold on. Now the echo should go away. All right, there we go. There's that. Anyway, I don't know what's going on with my voice meter. But I tell you what, we have had a good show. I appreciate you guys checking us out as always. We'll try to do a rundown tomorrow. We'll see how things are going here. It's kind of hard to do the rundown. Everybody's on remote learning tomorrow. But as always, we appreciate you guys joining the program, and we shall see you later on.